So we've had a few questions about different aspects of history in Coventry, and I would encourage everyone to visit our history gallery, which is on the ground floor. You can enter near to Dippy, both at the head end and the bottom end of Dippy, and that way you can explore all sorts of Coventry history, right from the medieval era through the Victorians and from the Second World War onwards. So we cover loads of things like leatherworking in the medieval time, cloth weaving, ribbon weaving, watchmaking, laser watchmaking and ribbon weaving, and then the industry post Second World War, including an acknowledgement of some of the works made by our founder and his company, Sir Alfred Herbert. Yes, we do have a full set of remains of a medieval person on display in Collecting Coventry. And we do know they're really popular. People are intrigued about humans in the past, and to see skeletons, we don't get a lot of chances to do that in modern society. But we also acknowledge that a lot of people are uncomfortable viewing human remains. So it's placed in Collecting Coventry behind barriers so people can make that choice whether they'd like to view the remains or not. And we've set it up in a very respectful way. So if you want to learn more about Lady Godiva, the best thing to do is visit our Discover Godiva gallery. That has everything from artefacts that are contemporary to the time she lived, but also paintings of her, you know, from 500 years ago up to quite relatively recent. And also all the ways that the city has celebrated Lady Godiva, from the processions to lots of things being named after and having her image of them. But sadly, no, we don't have anything that actually belonged to the lady herself. So we do have a fantastic object on display that covers St George and the Dragon. It's in the History Gallery. It's one of our medieval treasures, and it shows St George on his horse with his spear or lance going through into the Dragon. It's well worth checking out. It was so important it was even been on loan to the V&A for a short period of time, so it's definitely not one to be missed.
Yes, we've got two permanent displays that tell the story of Coventry during the Second World War. In our history gallery, there's a whole section that looks at life in the city during the war. We look at things like, you know, rationing and the work of the Home Guard and the ARP service, that kind of thing. But then we've also got another room called Peace and Reconciliation, which tells the story of Coventry's history of promoting peace and reconciliation internationally, really. And this began with the Blitz of Coventry in November 1940, and we tell the story of how that came about, and we go on to sort of bring the story a bit more up to date. We look at people who are working to promote peace and reconciliation in the city today, for example. You know, so you can find out quite a lot about Coventry during the Second World War here.